10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, and happy Monday. Welcome to one more episode of Lunch with Farid. Today is our Money Monday, so stay tuned because today we're going to be talking about saving, investing, what you should be looking at, how you should be looking forward to a great retirement, and all those little things you should know to prevent making mistakes to get to be accumulating. All right. So stay tuned. We'll be right back in just a brief message.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way.
Well, here we go. I hope that you are tuning in today with a lot of questions about money. Today, our topic is, of course, let's talk money. So we're going to talk a little bit about some concepts on the How Money Works book. But, first, I just want to talk about certain things that people, you don't know what you don't know. It's basically what this show is about, right? I come across so many people on a daily basis. I hope that my audio is fine. Is my audio fine, you guys? Yeah. Hopefully, if you're watching me, give me a thumbs up if my audio is fine. But anyhow, so today I'd love to talk to you guys about how do you plan correctly. So first of all, if you have a son or a daughter or a sister or a brother that is early in their age, they're in their 20s, maybe they just graduated from a university, maybe they just started working, having a part-time. This is a show that they want to watch, okay? We're going to talk about the early stage planning. And I'll touch a little bit on also like once you are kind of advanced in your age and the planning, and what are the things that you should be looking into, okay? So number one is, awesome. Thank you, Edna. Thank you for tuning in. I got you. All right. So make sure that if you guys have a good question, or there's no bad questions, okay? Just throw me your questions. But today we're going to talk about proper planning so you can retire as early as you can. So there's two concepts, okay? A lot of people think retirement is at age 65 or 62 or 67 or after the government tells you, right? Because the government tells you, hey, you can't touch your money until you're 59 and a half or you're going to be penalized for it. So yeah, you put your money hostage. If you have money in a retirement plan, like a 401k, like an IRA, like one of those plans, TSPs or whatever, yeah, you are forced to keep your money in there until you're 59 and a half because they need to know, it needs to be very predictable for them how long they're going to keep your funds so they can continue to invest them and make money for themselves. Kill me if you can, if you want, but I'm going to speak the truth, right? So the way I look at it is, if I am going to trust somebody with my money, I don't want somebody that has to mandate to me that I cannot touch my money penalty free until I'm 59 and a half. What if I am ready to retire at 49? What if I'm able to retire 10 years early because I did the right thing, because I saved and accumulated enough money? What if I want to do that? What makes you as a banking institution or a government agency mandating me or forcing me to wait until you're 59 and a half. So number one, I'm sorry, facts, right? If you are saving money in a retirement plan, like an employer retirement plan or an individual retirement account, you will be penalized if you take your money out before you're 59 and a half, period. Okay? I don't care if you tell me that you don't believe that. Go check it out. Read the small print. 59 and a half, your money is hostage. Okay? All right. So why do they do that? Well, what I tell my clients all the time. Well, why do they do that? Well, really, because that kind of savings is meant for your golden years. So they don't want people thinking that a retirement account is just like a normal banking account. It isn't. Okay? That's why they give you more gains than a regular checking or savings account. That's why you're susceptible to the market. Like, you can gain a lot of money, but you can also lose a lot of money. Now, so that's number one. Number two, if you do not know how to choose the strategy that's inside that vehicle, right? We call it an investment vehicle. Now, if you do not know, your HR is not going to know, your boss is not going to know. They're not financial advisors. You need to call a financial advisor to ask them. So my go-to person is Jorge, right? Jorge Calmar. He's always the guy that I call for any type of investments in that world. And so if I have a client that tells me, well, I have a 401k or a TSP or one of those vehicles, and I have it in a, I don't know, JP Morgan Stanley investment, or I have it in the S&P 500, or I have it in whatever. I'm going to call Jorge and I'm going to say, Jorge, can you tell me which investments strategies are doing a lot better historically? Because I'm not going to base it on the trend of the year. I'm going to base it on the amount of years that you're going to be saving that money. So if you got 10 more years to go to retirement, 20, 30, 40, then you got to base it on the historical events that have happened in the past, because history repeats itself, my friends. I could tell you that. So if you see every 10 years, there's a cycle, 8 to 10 years. I always say the same thing will repeat itself every 8 to 10 years. So you know how the stock market goes up? It's got to come down, guys. So if the stock market goes down, it's usually about every 8 to 10 years. So you historically study that. So if you want to check that out, it's public information. Nobody can lie to you or deceive you on how the stock market is doing. And all the investment advisors out there can tell you, okay? Everything is based on historical events. So with that said, if you're a young person, okay, and if you're watching me and you are under the age of 30, you must pay attention for your own good. So the younger that you are, okay, so I'm going to put it here, okay, here's the level. The younger that you are, the less money you have to save, to accumulate, okay? Why? What is the one thing that you have in your favor? Can somebody tell me on the chat? If you're young and you're saving a little bit of money, what is your number one friend? All right. Well, it's time. You have all this time to accumulate. And compounding interest is your best friend when it comes to time. So the longer that you have to save, the less you have to save. But now let's take me for a moment. You know, I'm in my 40s. Yes, I am. I'm in my 40s. I know everybody thinks I'm 30. Oh my Lord, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, guys. But if I'm in my 40s, I'm going to have to save a lot more money than that 25 or 30-year-old because I don't have that much time to save, right? So people think the retirement age is 65, and we're going to kind of base everything on a 65-year-old goal, right? I'm not retiring at 65. I'm retiring a lot sooner. Let me tell you. Why? Because if you're in the money business, if you are involved in any type, shape, or form, okay, in the money business, you know that it's no longer an age. Retirement is no longer an age. It's the accumulation of when you can do it. You can retire at 30 years old if you do it right from the beginning, right? What happens? So you go, I see Alex. Alex, you're on this. Thank you for being here. Okay, so I'm going to use you for an example, Alex, okay? So you're fairly young. You're a young guy. So if you become really good with your money, you could retire by 39, by 40, okay? You can go and travel the world and now work because you want to and not because you have to. Now, a lot of people get intimidated with the word retirement, okay? Retirement is just probably just, I don't know, a status. Like I'm retired, I'm engaged, you know, I'm employed, that kind of thing. I don't think it has to do with, oh, I'm never, you know, I don't want to do that. No. When you hit your retirement, it should be that now you're working because you want to or because you like it. People usually in the entrepreneurial business or industries, we don't really retire because we go and we mentor others. Maybe we become, you know, part of a what's it called, like a board member, just so we can keep entertained. Nobody wants to be 65 or 70 and having to work to pay your bills. So if you do it right, let's say Alex, he's a young guy, and Alex starts saving, I don't know, if you get paid, let's say $2,000 a month. If you get paid $2,000 a month, okay, for whatever work that you do, there should be 3 things you are worried about, okay? So number 1 is saving. Number 2 is accumulating. And number 2 is living, right? Paying your expenses. So if you still live, most people in that age, they live with their parents or they live with a roommate. You know, their expenses are a lot less than a head of household that has to support a family. So you have more money to save and accumulate, okay? Now, if you're living over your means, you're really jeopardizing a whole lifetime. Let me tell you, if you are living over your means because you want to show this status that you don't have, you are fooling yourself, my friend. And many of us have gone through those mistakes and learned the hard way. But if you live within your means, and there's 3 things, remember, you got to have your budget to live on, your rent, your card payments, everything. You got to have your budget to save. That's non-negotiable. That you got to pay yourself first. And then the third one is you got to have your money to invest or accumulate. All right. I have a saying. I always say, hey, always think of this. Let me write it on there. Accumulate, not annihilate. Right? A lot of people, they can't wait to get their paycheck to annihilate it. No, you gotta be looking forward to get your paycheck or your payment or your commissions, because it doesn't matter whether you're an employee or of a W-2 or you're a 1099 independent contractor. every penny that you get in, you should be looking forward to what part of that you're going to accumulate. Accumulate for so many different things. So if you are a, let's say, 25-year-old and you can save $400 a month, okay? That for 12 months is $4,800 a year. Well, if you retire at 65, that means you got 40 years. 40 years to accumulate $4,800 a month. I'm sorry. Yes, $4,800 a year for 40 years. That's a total of $192,000 in your lifespan that you accumulated. But that $192 with compounding interest, and if you choose the right type of account, meaning a secure account, one that doesn't go, that, yeah, it goes up, you have the ability to capture the market, but maybe they give you a floor, a protection. Okay, keyword protection, guys. So if you have an account like that, where it's protected from losses, where it gives you an opportunity to capture, some highs in the market, and you keep it steady for the next 40 years, that $192 will be phenomenally great for retirement. Okay, so let's just say you were one of the lucky ones, and that money accumulates to $1 million in some way, shape, or form. I'm not here to give you exact numbers, okay? So don't be quoting me. If you need exact numbers, you give me a call. I either schedule you with myself, Jorge, or one of the team members from our company. But if you accumulate $1 million, whether you're 30, whether you're 40, whether you're 50, 60, or 70, it doesn't matter. Now you put that $1 million into working for you. You no longer have to be working for your money. And that's the goal. The goal about money is that you don't have to work for it anymore, that your money works for you. So the goal, everybody's goal should be to at least have $1 million at retirement. Let me tell you why. If you have $1 million, and I'm about to get my phone, this is like the easiest thing. I could do it in an elevator, right? Like we're walking in an elevator and I'm going to tell you how to do this. So grab your calculators. Oh, see? I'm getting over here. My Jorgito just told me, yeah, that he would have approximately $1 million in 40 years in a retirement plan. So that's awesome, right? In a savings plan. So now let's talk about $1 million. And we're going to do this, right? So again, if you're young and you're planning on working a 40-year career, that's your number. That's your magic number, $400 a month. If you can do more, then you can retire earlier. If you can do less, then you need to budget correctly, because you should be paying yourself first before you pay any expensive card payment, before you pay that cable bill, before you go too much out and be wasting all that money on tequila and whiskey and booze and et cetera, okay? So save and accumulate, not annihilate, okay? So let's see. If you have $1 million, and this is not me giving you any financial advice, this is just me having a talk with you. If I was your mom, this is what I would be telling you. If you had $1 million, okay, here it is, $1 million. You guys see that? All right. $1 million, and I put that account, I call my financial advisor and I say, hey, put $1 million in an account that's going to pay me out every year. Okay? Now, I've done my part, whether I worked 20 years to accumulate $1 million, 30 or 40 years, whatever it took. Remember, is the discipline of how much you're going to start saving. So if I have $1 million in an account and it gives me an average of 7% growth every year. Well, what is 7% of $1 million? Here we go. Oops, oopsie, whoops. Okay, so $1 million times 7%, that is $70,000 a year. Okay, so can you live on $70,000 a year when you have no more children to support, when you don't have, probably your house will be paid off by then, or it should, right? You should have very minimal bills. Well, here we go. $70,000 divided by 12 months is 5,800. Ay, Dios mío. $5,833 a month. Are you earning $5,800 a month right now? That you're working hard, that you're leaving your home, that you have to wake up early, you have to sleep late, whatever. That's how you start thinking, guys. Okay? Obviously, if you want to make $10,000, then shoot, do what it takes. Oh, see? In Argentina, he says that's considered a high roller. So there you go. A lot of people move out of the country after they accumulate that $1 million. That's what we're talking about. I would be thinking that if I wanted to be a high roller on $70,000, I will go live in Mexico, right? Same thing. There's a lot of U.S. citizens, American-born people that go live in Baja California, that go live in TJ, that go live in on the borders of like Texas or other countries, or they go to Costa Rica, or they go to Panama. Why? Because they know that their dollar lasts a lot longer. I always say, hey, you don't need to move anywhere to be a high roller. You just need to do it right from the beginning. Does that make sense? So again, if you're a young cat or cat woman, because we're going to talk about the women, and you have not gotten the How Money Works book, please get it, read it. It's going to teach you certain things that your employer is not going to teach you, that a finance class in school is not going to teach you. This is key, guys. This is like, if you're a religious person, you read the Bible. If you're a person that has to get money to pay and live, you need this Bible. You need the How Money Works book. I cannot emphasize it enough. If I've gifted this book to you already, you better have read it. You better have implemented some of those. If not, you're wasting the golden goose that I gave you. Okay? If you have not gotten your book, make sure that you get this book. So let's talk about a 40-year-old or a 50-year-old. Yes, it's a game changer for sure. Absolutely. So Alex, you says you always plan ahead about spending your money. Here's a super simple way to do it. Okay. This is called my 30-70 rule. In my 30-70, in my 30-70 rule, I always say 30% should be savings, investing, and covering your emergency fund. 70% is your budget. So out of every $1,000 that you bring home, right, to your pocket, $300, it's your paying yourself to accumulate for that. That way, that 70% that is left, you base that on your budget. That's how you determine your housing, you determine your bills, you determine everything. And if you have any money left out of that 70%, then go blow it. Go enjoy life. Go take a vacation. And do not feel guilty about living life, okay? But it has to come out of that 70%. So if you're a good frugal person in budgeting, then you should have a lot of money to go enjoy life or buy your gaming or buy your, whatever, go party with your friends. But that first 30%, that's your lifeline. That's your livelihood. That's what you accumulate, not annihilate. Does that make sense? So don't ever feel guilty if you're going to go and spend money, as long as you did it because you had money left over out of your 70% budget. The 30-70 rule, I've been teaching it for a decade. 30-70, 30-70. Every dollar I get in, 30% goes to pay myself to support me in the future. The other 70 cents goes to my livelihood, to my living expenses and my spending. That way I never feel guilty about spending whatever it is that I want to spend. Okay? Hopefully that helps. Now, Edwin, how do you get the book? All you got to do is send me a private direct message. Let me know that you want the book. Send me your mailing address and I will forward it to Jorge or the team so they can get that out. We usually send out books twice a month, okay? So if you haven't gotten it, don't get all crazy. Some books get lost in the mail. So if you never got it, it's not that I intentionally didn't send it to you. You probably got lost or whatever. So just text me and I will get you the book. Jorge will get you the book, right, Jorge? So anyways, guys, I cannot emphasize how important it is to plan ahead, okay? Now, tomorrow isn't promised, okay? Tomorrow isn't promised. We know that. And I know a lot of you will start talking about, what if I don't, what if I don't live to see retirement? Well, what if you do? You want to be working at Walmart? Okay? So I rather 100% be prepared in case I live. Now, if you have children, well, then get some type of testament or will or trust set up so that way you can plan for them the money that you leave behind if you're not lucky enough to enjoy it. Okay? So I'm one of those. I'm dedicated to save people's wealth and health, right? If you get wealthy, I want to be there to help you all along the way. My team is always prepared to do that. But we don't just do it like the bank. We don't ask you, hey, come and put your money in here and be like, okay, on a silent partner type of thing. No. We like to educate you first. Okay? Financial illiteracy is the biggest cancer, the biggest pandemic, the biggest hurt that we have in the world. And if we all come together and fight it together, you guys will be able to change not only your life, but those that surround you. And if you have children, it's your responsibility to educate them in the financial concepts that they're going to need. This is not about you having money or not having money. This is about you knowing what to do with the $1 that is in your pocket. Okay? So don't waste your life reading all those guys on the internet and on the TV that tell you something so you can buy a product from them. Okay? We're not here to sell you a product. We're here to teach you financial education, give you a financial education. We have classes every week. I know my friends and my coworkers in all of WealthWave, they have classes every week where you can actually take advantage of it. Here you go. If you want a class, go to wealthwave.com/Farid Cisniega and schedule a class. let me know. Send me a direct message. Let me know that, hey, I'm interested in stop being a sucker. I do not want to be a sucker anymore. This paleton, right? All it means is you stop not knowing. That's all that means. You stop not knowing. You take the reins, okay? If you're going to go drive a train, are you going to drive it with your eyes closed? No, okay? So that's our money talk for today. Let's all go out there and plan how to save. Pay yourself first. 30-70 rule. If you want to learn any of that, make sure that you send a direct message. Go to wealthwave.com/Farid Cisniega. It's right there. Just repeat the show and you'll be able to watch it. And either schedule a free consultation or just request the book. You never have to even talk to me. Go get your book. It's a life-changing experience and it might just change your life. So don't forget, if it fails, press the restart button. Love you all. See you next Monday with another great talk. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but I'm sure it'll be great. So 30-70 rule. Yes, yes, yes. We'll leave with that. Thank you, Edna. We'll talk to you guys next Monday, same time, 1 o'clock Pacific time.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way.